When Kidney for Sale by Owner, Human Organs, Transplantation, and the Market appeared in 2005, the response was controversial. I often found myself vilified for endorsing the commodification of human body parts or for encouraging organ trafficking, a position my critics judged a grave moral offense. If the Ethics Committee of the Transplantation Society's long-standing opposition to financial incentives and the Declaration of Istanbul's 2008 formal statement against the commercial organ trade are representative, opponents of compensated organ donation have grown ever more intransigent. However, moral intuitions that monetary payments for organ donors are necessarily exploitative, or that they somehow violate human dignity or so-called human rights, remain unjustified and far from universal. Commentators who openly support the sale of human organs for transplantation are rarely invited to participate in the crafting of such consensus statements. The conclusion that the market is the most efficient, effective, and morally justified means of procuring and allocating human organs for transplantation set Kidney for Sale by Owner against the supposed consensus that continues to promote global prohibition of the sale of human organs for transplantation. On these particular points, I remain unrepentant. In 2009, I argued in the Journal of Medicine and Philosophy that policies encouraging organ donation, while forbidding financial incentives and other forms of valuable compensation, are based on a contradiction. Organ procurement surgery is not performed for the health and physical well-being of the donor and is morally authorized through the consent of the donor or the donor's family in the case of deceased donation. This practice recognizes adult persons as the best judges of their own interests and affirms their authority over how they wish to utilize their own body. Indeed, this is the usual foundation of the practice of free and informed consent in medicine. However, it is precisely this authority of persons over themselves that transplantation policy denies when it forbids consensual organ procurement from persons who are willing to donate organs while living or once deceased, provided that they or their families receive valuable compensation in exchange. Insofar as organ procurement takes place in a suitably sterile surgical environment with appropriately skilled surgeons, anesthetists, nurses, and other healthcare professionals, there is no medical difference between compensated and uncompensated organ donation. As a result, consent either authorizes the removal of the healthy organ from the donor in both cases or does so in neither. Despite continuing efforts to prohibit compensation in the 10 years since the original publication of Kidney for Sale by Owner, it remains unclear why money and other forms of valuable consideration morally taint organ donation. While critics continue to preach the need to preserve organ donation as characterized by the spirit of altruistic gift-giving set within an ethic of generosity, such lofty rhetoric routinely fails adequately to describe current transplant practices. Consider several brief examples. Surgeons, nurses, hospital administrators, organ procurement agencies, and other healthcare workers charge significant amounts of money for access to organ transplantation. Despite the stated hopes of many, medicine does not function as an altogether altruistic social endeavor. Physicians and hospitals demand payment for services rendered. It's unclear why potential donors or their families should be held to a different moral standard than others in medicine.